Is this thing on? Testing, testing, testing. Oh, hey, before we jump into this episode, I want to tell you guys how excited I am, number one, to have you, but also to have brand new special guests featuring incredible insights and stories of resilience. Also, do not miss our special Micro Matters episodes. These are short, impactful moments of encouragement designed to support you in your journey of healing from emotional, narcissistic, and spiritual abuse. Whether it's a powerful interview or a quick dose of hope, we're here to remind you your story matters. Thanks again for downloading this episode, and now hope you enjoy today's special broadcast. So here's the thing. I've realized that family members often struggle to fully understand my experience, my healing process. I've come to understand that what was said before, it's a capacity issue. That's not a new phrase, a new term. It just simply means that others, to understand what you go through, is difficult for them to harness in their minds. They can't fully grasp the concept and experience of what you've gone through because it's your experience. But at the same time, they also may be marred with their own inhibitions and their own devices that keep them from dealing with their own pain. And when that happens, it's a capacity issue where when you're in a conversation with that person, a family member, it seems to everything seems to stop. It's like this brick wall that you can't break through. And they're all open at first, but then they just shut down immediately. That right there that you witness is a capacity issue. And this is when you need to trust your own intuition rather than their expectations, which is hard. But this is all about reclaiming yourself after narcissistic abuse. Hey friends, welcome back to another short episode of Micro Matters on the Your Story Matters podcast. I'm Branon, Dempsey, your host. Thanks for being here. Healing from narcissistic abuse is definitely no small feat. You see, it's not just about moving on or patching up the hurt. It's not, you can't just move on from it, flip the light switch, and you're done. I've talked about that before. It's more about rediscovering who you are beneath the pain. Now, that's a very interesting concept because, see, what's underneath, we were told to ignore, right? And it's all about the exterior, which is where the narcissist lives. Because image is what becomes important as it threatens their fragile and secure life. And so therefore they tell us the same, that it must be about image, because it's really about how they look. But when that happens, we find ourselves unknowingly ignoring not just our own pain, but ignoring who we are. See, a narcissist doesn't just break your heart, they break your spirit. They chip away at your confidence and, most of all, your voice and your sense of self-worth. And this is why the healing process seems so overwhelming. I mean, you may say to yourself, oh my God, how can I come out from this? I've been told for so long things that are not true about me that are really about them, but yet they make me feel like I'm so broken, like I've been lost forever. Well, let me just tell you something. You're not broken. Well, how about this? How about this? You may have been shattered, but you're not broken. In other words, there are parts of you that maybe feel lost, but they're not gone from you. They're not gone forever. In fact, they're waiting to be reclaimed. Healing, in my experience, it begins with trust. I've had a good friend that told me, Branon, you just need to trust yourself. It's like, well, I've been told all my life not to do that. So you're asking me to do something that's not within my agency. But when you learn how to slowly trust yourself, amid all the gaslighting that you've been through, yes, it's so freaking hard. It takes time. But what I've also learned is that it takes courage. And each time when you trust yourself and you build that confidence, you begin to honor. That's what's cool. You begin to honor your own instincts. Because see, you're rebuilding that part of yourself that's always been there. That's called foundation. That's where you find your confidence. Because see, what abuse does is strips away the belief that you're not enough. So reclaiming it is the opposite. It means challenging the lies that you were told, right? It means choosing to believe in your own worth, even when it feels uncomfortable. And finally, there's self-worth. This is truly the hardest part to rebuild because it's so deeply personal. It's about knowing your value. It's about understanding that you do exist. Your pain is real. Now look, I'm not a proponent of staying in our pain, because when we do that, we don't move forward. It is our responsibility, no matter how hard it is our responsibility to take a step forward. Well, why is that, you say, Branon? Why should I be responsible for that pain? Well, because it's about owning who you are, pain or not. And see, it's not what you, it's not even about how you perceive yourself. It's about knowing yourself. Because see, all of that's been taken away from you, but in every small step that you take in a process, it is a win. And victory, it's a victory against the voices that told you that you can't, right? Some days are going to be harder than others because healing is not linear. But even in those worst days, even if you can just crawl, you're still moving. It's like my therapist told me, Branon, as long as you can keep moving, that's all that matters. Because no one is measuring your speed. No one is taking track of how far you must come to the finish line. Because see, healing is for you, it's not for them. And that should be empowering. So I say, reclaim your trust, reclaim your confidence, reclaim your self-worth, almost as an act of defiance, right? Against those who try to take it away. Because it's an act of self-love. And it's choosing to say that my story doesn't end with that. It may have happened to me, but it doesn't define me. You do have the power to rewrite your story, to rebuild yourself piece by piece. Not as you were maybe before the abuse, but someone now that's even stronger. Someone who knows their worth and refuses to settle for anything less. That's you. Because see, your healing is proof of your resilience. And that's something no one can take away from you. Friends, I love you. Thank you so much for coming into this episode, and I ask that you do share it with those that you know are hurting also, because we're in this healing process together. Thanks for joining me here, and remember, your story matters. See you next time.